Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be doing something I don't normally do, which is cover patch notes, especially for developer updates. I usually just wait until the update, but this is a special case because I read through these patch notes, and let's just say I am not very happy with what I am seeing. So let's just get into the meat and potatoes of it, which is the changes to anti-camp, well, anti-slug and anti-tunnel. So let's go over the slugging one, because I feel like this is the lesser of the two, in my opinion. So let's go over those. First, we have the slugging reduction. If a survivor is left in the dying state for a total of 90 seconds during the match, then they'll get unbreakable. And you got tenacity over time. And they also have the ability to recover while crawling, which also they can now auto recover. So basically, here are the problems I have with this. First of all, this 90 seconds right here, it is not 90 seconds per down. It's 90 seconds of slug time, period. This timer, this 90-second timer right here, that shit does not reset, as it's cumulative. So if you're slugged for a total of 90 seconds throughout the match, you will get unlimited unbreakable. You do not have to wait the 90 seconds every time you want the unbreakable. It's just 90 seconds total, flat. And then you get unbreakable. This is ridiculous, as this completely kills. This one thing right here completely kills killers like Twins, because they rely so heavily on slugging, because their hooking is so much slower than everyone else, because they have to down someone with Victor, run all the way to where Victor is, pick up the survivor, go all the way to the hook the survivor, and then resume their patrol as normal. That is ridiculous, which is why slugging is always more efficient with them, but with these changes, it makes it so that is no longer an option. So Twins, and as well as Oni, they are going to drop in viability, like, by a lot. It also, because they're basically getting basic and unbreakable, it frees up perk slots for them that they can use to put in more viable perks like gen progression and whatnot. Like 90 seconds on its own, it's not that big of a deal. Like these changes on its own, not that big of a deal. It's when you combine it with everything else around it is what makes these changes terrible. On its own, in a vacuum, these seem fine. It's just when it's combined with everything else that we're going to talk about is when this gets ridiculous. So that's the slugging update. Let's go on to the tunneling changes. This is the meat and potatoes and the source of most killers' frustrations. The tunneling reduction. Basically, I know there's a lot of text here. I'm going to sum this up for you. Basically, when a survivor gets unhooked, or when a survivor is hooked, and when they get unhooked, they won't know. They will not know. They won't get a noise notification, and they won't know when they get unhooked. This right here is stupid because it effectively removes information from the killer that is vital to them. What if the survivor has something like, I don't know, deliverance? You're not going to know they had deliverance until after the game is over. And like, this change is just going to encourage killers to proxy camp because of this. It'll be harder for them to like for killers to identify certain perks, removes information from survivor, and basically guarantees safe hooks for survivors, making it harder for killers to pressure hooks. Then we also got, whenever survivors get unhooked, they get haste, endurance, and elusive. Basically, elusive is undetectable for survivors. They don't leave scratch marks, pools of blood, grunts of pain, and their auras are not revealed. They're basically untrackable. Oh, they are also going to be immune to killer instinct and will see the killer's aura. Which, by the way, this is the only time in the history of the game where we're getting something that bypasses killer instinct. We also get no collision with other players, both killer and survivor, which this is fine. I like this. I like them not being able to use their base kit anti-tunnel to, like, as an offensive thing. That's great. I love this. However, everything else, though, I have a problem. Why is it that they effectively become immortal? What? Alright, yeah, I'm sorry about that. My dad just walked in. Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah. Basically, they become undetectable. I don't... Like, haste and endurance, fine, whatever. Elusive, fine, whatever. But why is it that they also have to be immune to killer instinct and see my aura? Why? Why do they need that information? They can already effectively guarantee a safe reset on hook. So why do they also need to be immune to killer instinct and see exactly where I am? Like, that is dumb. They're basically, when you get unhooked, you effectively become God. And also, we got an added unique effect to the killer hook state UI that indicates the last survivor of the hook. Keep this in mind. This is going to be super important. Alright, let's go over some of the compensation buffs that we're getting. Bonus damage to next generator kick. Now, the thing is, with all of these, we don't have the exact numbers, but I feel like when it comes to judging this, I don't think that really matters too much, because unless these numbers are significant, these compensation buffs are not really going to matter. Bonus damage from next generator kick. Next, unless you're a mobility killer, this is not going to mean shit, because if they get the gen done before you get to go and kick it, then the extra bonus damage means nothing, because they already completed the gen, which this is just going to encourage survivors to do gens even faster to deny the killer or the gen and kick value, because if they complete the gen before they get to it, then they can't kick it. Temporary haste status effect. Now, this number has to be significant, because otherwise it doesn't mean shit. Like, oh yeah, I love getting 5% haste on my trapper. Yeah, that's great. That's so useful for me. 5% haste for 10 seconds. Woohoo! That's totally going to help me out. Like, if it's like that, no, this haste is going to do nothing for you. And now, finally, we have we get base kit, barbecue, and chili for everyone that has less or equal hook states to the hook survivor. Again, unless you're a mobility killer, this is not going to matter. Because they can still pre-run your ass anyway. Yeah, because, like, I hook a survivor, I'm totally going to hoof it to the other, hoof my 110 ass all the way to the other side of Azeroth's, just so I can get this one guy who doesn't have any hooks. Yeah, that's totally good value for my time. And, like, the thing is, all of these only really benefit killers with high mobility. And the thing is, they slightly lessened these effects for Blight, Dark Lord, Ghoul, Hillbilly, and the Nurse. Notice how it says slightly. slightly is the key difference. Meaning, it's not going to be enough of a nerf for it to really matter, and it's still going to highly benefit those killers more than anyone else. Because they have the mobility to be able to consistently interrupt the gens they need. They got the mobility to take advantage of the haste, which would stack with their mobility. They have the mobility needed for them to take advantage of the aura reading to be able to navigate across the map to get those survivors. Also, another side tangent, base kit barbecue and chili is not as great as you think because it's so easy to deny the killer value. Think about it. What makes barbecue so good? Barbecue is so good because survivors don't know you have it. Now that they do know you're going to have it, they can just hide their aura with lockers. Hide their aura behind generators so you can't see it because you can't see other survivor auras through auras. Or they'll just bring perks like distortion to deny you, the aura reveal. And they'll just keep doing that every single time you hook someone. Because they know exactly when you down someone, and they know exactly when you're going to hook them. All they have to do is, while you're taking them to the hook, they just have to hide in a locker. Or just do something to hide their aura, and boom. You don't get any value. Which makes, and combined with this change up top to make it to where you can't tell when people get unhooked, basically makes it so now you have next to no information, which that's going to encourage killers to proxy camp even harder than before because it's the only way they'll be able to get consistent info. And I haven't gotten to the best part. Remember that effect that we get to see who the last survivor we hooked? This is where it becomes important. Added new effects that disincentivizes tunneling. If a survivor dies before 6 total hook states, everybody else gets a repair speed bonus for the rest of the trial. You heard me right. If you don't get 6 hooks, they get a gen speed buff for the rest of the game. Like, that is ridiculous. I don't care if that speed boost is like, it's only a 5% speed boost. You're still getting punished for getting a kill early. Sonico is getting absolutely fucked over by this because Sonico doesn't like the hook very much. So basically, if you go for Condemned on Sonico, you're giving the survivors a repair speed bonus. Guaranteed. Because the only times you like to hook as Sonico is whenever you want to lock in stats. You're mainly focusing on getting Condemned kills because that's the primary source of your power. And also, trap killers don't also get the benefit in it. And trap killers also suffer because they don't choose who they go after. They go after whoever falls for their traps. They go after anyone who activates their traps. They don't get to pick. They just get whoever they can. So those killers are also gonna suffer. And if you want to know, like, just don't tunnel. I need to tell you how many hook states. To give you just show how big the requirement of 6 total hook states is. 6 hook states is 3 survivors on Death Hook. That's 3 survivors on Death Hook that you have to have before you can start killing people. Basically, you need to have the entire team knocking on death's door before you're allowed to kill people. That's ridiculous. And it gets even better. If the survivor that was last hooked was sacrificed or killed, the generators cannot be regressed or blocked. Yeah. So basically, if the survivor that you happen to have last hooked because you can't control who you go after, you go and put them on a pop, hoping to get like a pop with a dead man switch. Nope. You don't get that. That stack completely gone, completely wasted. It's like, that is ridiculous. That is fucking ridiculous. Basically, what these changes do, what all this does, is basically make it to where our killers have to purposely ignore Death Hook survivors so they don't get punished by this bullshit ass system. Like, you see a Death Hook survivor like making a misplay, you can't punish them for that misplay, otherwise you get punished by anti-tunnel. You have to purposely go out of your way to ignore certain survivors just so you can get value. Imagine having to explain this to like a person who's getting into killer the first time. Like, oh boy, I'm about to get my first kill. Like, oh, did you get 6 hooks before that? No, then you can't kill them. Why not? Because you'll get them a speed repair bonus. I guarantee you, if you explain to them this mechanic, I guarantee you, they would quit the game. Straight up. Because of how this backwards ass, convoluted way that killers have to go and apply pressure now. I'm on Twitter, whenever I basically compared this like system to the one episode in SpongeBob where SpongeBob is teaching Patrick how to blow a bubble. Where like, you first spin like this, spin around, stop, double take 3 times, 1, 2, 3, all that jazz. That is basically what killers have to play like now with these changes. Unless you're an S-tier killer with high mobility, in which case these changes do nothing for you. You are completely unaffected because you don't need it. You could kill people fast enough as is. So all this does is it kills the viability of any killer that's B tier or lower. Oh, you want to play Springtrap with these new changes? Fuck you! You want to play Skull Merchant? Also go fuck yourself. Hell, go fuck yourself especially. Like, and it's just like, oh, wait until PTB. This might not be as bad as you think it is. Motherfucker, I don't need to test these changes to tell you how bad it is. If I can point out this many flaws from the patch notes alone, that should tell you that this whole thing is flawed fundamentally. I don't need to test the changes to tell you how bad it is when it's this fundamentally flawed. If I can point out this many issues, that should tell you how bad of an idea it is. That's not something you need to test. I'm just spitballing here. I could point out so many other different problems with this, but these are the big ones. And it's just like, oh, just go try it out. Like, okay, I go and try it out, and 90% of the time, it ends up being exactly as bad as I thought it was. So what does that change? Nothing. It changes nothing. Like, my opinion is not going to be changed from playing this on the PTB. It's not going to be changed. So there's no point. I already know it's going to be bad. There's no point in testing it because I already know it's going to be bad. He's like, oh, well, we don't know the numbers. Honestly, with how many problems there are, I don't think the numbers are really going to make much of a difference. Unless these numbers are so ridiculously high that it counterbalances these changes, which are ridiculously in the survivor's favor. Unless these are ridiculously high to balance it out, I doubt these compensation buffs are going to be enough. Basically, all these changes do is force killer players into hard meta even more so. It's ridiculous. Yeah. I'm not even going to like cover stuff like the Myers rework and all that because honestly, I really compared to all this, I really don't think it's that big of a deal. Like Myers got better. Yeah, good, great. Does it kill his identity? I don't know. At this point, I don't fucking care. So long as these make it, if these get in the way they are, it's going to kill the game for killers. I'm not even exaggerating. It's like, I'm trying hard not to like come across as having a bias. Like, yeah, I am a killer main, but I did play a lot of Survivor too. And like there were plenty of killer changes that came out that I was vehemently against, like the over nerfing of Survivor healing, the 3-gen era. Like there were some unhealthy killer metas, but like there were some unhealthy killer changes, but like this, like I can barely find anything to give them a benefit of the doubt. It's like they even added a system to like disable both these mechanics in custom. It felt like they knew how game changing these were, and they decided to make it so disable a custom game so that comp isn't affected by it. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it for me. Sorry about the ramble. Well, like, yeah, that's gonna be it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Take care, everyone.